I know a lot of alcohol makes you feel like crap. I know in today's society too, the amount of alcohol consumption has pretty much tanked compared to most of human history. But I also think if they had your wine, it's not like they would start, becoming alcoholics, but I feel like you'd start having a little bit of wine with some meals because, again, I don't know, I've never felt like crap after having yours. How or what do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
So there's a lot of things, and it's not just with the wine. I mean, there's a lot of things with our modern diet that make us feel worse after we drink. But if you're looking just at the alcohol, when you look at wine, a wine bottle in the store, the only thing in the ingredients that you might see is contains sulfites at the bottom in small print. And that's basically the extent of what's required for ingredients on a wine bottle. And that's there no matter how many sulfites you use. So if you use a small amount like I do, or if you load it up with this preservative, it has the same ingredients label, contains sulfites. But there's 75 different ingredients you can put in a wine bottle in America without saying what that is. And whatever you're having a bad ailment with, a bad reaction to, is, I don't know. I can't tell you which one of those it is. And it's a black box for every single wine bottle. You have no idea. You can ask the winemaker, maybe you could figure it out. But what I find is if you look for wine that's natural, low intervention, or just a smaller producer, you're generally going to feel a lot better. And honestly, I drink a lot of just French and Italian wine if I don't know what's going on, because the way they make wine is more in tune with their ancestors, the thousands of years of history. And so they are less incentivized, or their just main process is to keep it more natural. So what I do is I try and keep it as close to just the grapes as possible. I add the smallest amount of sulfur, and also sulfur is in all wine. It occurs naturally. And then I don't add anything else outside of oak. And what I get is a wine that doesn't leave you feeling like a horrible headache the next day. I didn't really understand this getting into wine. And it just kind of got to a point where I realized that hangovers are optional, in the sense that when I drink my wine, almost like however much I drink of it, I know I'm going to wake up the next day and I might be tired, I might have stayed up late, but I know I'm not going to have this debilitating hangover. Whereas if I drank a bunch of someone else's wine or a bunch of tequila or beer or whatever, I'd wake up the next day and I'd lose the entire day. So I'm very much a proponent of drinking to enhance life's beautiful moments, drink to enhance a great meal, great time with friends. But if you can do it without sacrificing so much, without giving up the next day, it really allows you to live in the moment a lot more and enjoy what you're doing. And as I said, it's an option. You can drink something that doesn't make you feel horrible. It's just not prevalent. It's not thought of as possible. And you just have to kind of experiment and find what works for you. And in wine, the natural, low intervention, generally French and Italian, you're going to be a lot better off. And once you kind of experience this, it's pretty wild to have a fun night doing whatever you're doing and wake up the next day feeling fine. It still honestly blows my mind.
Well, I like how you phrase it too. So just some of the reasonings why you have it with just the social aspects and just elevating, just the human experience in the context of just a night together with friends. I mean, that's what I do a lot with these travels, is talking on community, because that's huge for obviously everything, but especially for our food. Because to me, it goes hand in hand. Our disconnection from our food has really disconnected our communities. And so I think what you're doing is just one small way to really help rebuild communities in a way. And I'm just curious then, what's just been some of the feedback been from people? Have they shared any pictures or experiences having your wine?
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of skepticism because people are like, no, that's crazy. When you drink, you feel horrible. And then they drink my wine and they're like, yo, I actually felt great the next day. That was amazing. I need more. And wine is it's an art form. It's an agriculture product, so much more than pretty much any beverage, but also basically any alcohol, that it really connects you to this sense of place.